Once we start working with you and we start working on your project, you're assigned a project manager who becomes your main point of contact throughout the project. And with that project manager, you have developers, designers, and QA testers who are working together to make this project happen. Right now, we have about 55 people in our team. Our main office is in Vancouver. This is where we have more of the management people, project managers, senior level developers. And then we have some of our team members in the US, some in Europe, some in Asia. So the team is really working around the clock.
BuddyBoss came in with some of their pre-done templates and themes and plugins and really accelerated that process. We were able to get a lot more for our investment in our platform.
So when we're scoping a project, the first thing that we do when we're looking at a feature that needs to be built is to look at the marketplace and first see if someone else has done something like that, or if someone has done parts of that feature. And it's very important for us that we don't recreate the wheel and we don't spend a budget on something that's unnecessary. And so once we do that, it allows us to focus the budget on the things that are unique to the project and the things that matter the most. So when you work with a freelancer and a problem happens, the freelancer gets sick or they have an emergency, your project gets put on hold and you don't really have someone else to rely on. And so when you work with an agency like ours, what happens is that if there's a problem, somebody gets sick, or there's an issue with one of the developers, we can always put a different developer on the project. There's always an option, there's always ways to ensure that project gets delivered on time, on budget, and with the highest quality standards. So we understand that a project scope is always going to change. The client is going to want to do something else, they're going to want to remove some parts of the project, they're going to want to add to the scope, and so we try and make it always flexible. So you're never really locked into a specific scope and a contract, and you always have the ability to stop, pause, change, continue.
When I was presented with BuddyBoss, I was given a lot of promises of very quick delivery, of plug-and-play featuring, and I was very concerned that I wouldn't be able to get the customization that I was looking for, but I was wrong. BuddyBoss did a fabulous job. Not only that, but the turnaround time on this was ridiculously incredible.
So we've worked on a wide variety of projects. We've built online communities, membership sites, e-learning sites, intranets, sites for corporate training, online schools, and we've been lucky to have the opportunity to work on some very interesting projects. Lately, we've done a project for Harvard. We've built communities for millions of users. The project budgets usually range from $3,000 for the smaller type projects up until $500,000 and beyond. Some of these projects are aimed for a community that's like over 1 million users. And so those types of projects usually have a larger budget, and we're very lucky to have the opportunity to work on projects like that. It allows us to really build some interesting features that allow a platform to scale and be able to support so many users. We don't really limit ourselves to only the products that we build. We're open to working with a wide array of plugins and themes. Whenever we find an interesting theme or interesting plugin that's a good fit for a project, we're always open to using it. I think there's a lot of other interesting products that a lot of companies and developers come up with, and we're always open to using those products whenever it makes sense. So when you build your site on an open source platform like WordPress, it gives you a certain flexibility and control that you don't get on a software as a service type product. And so let's say that you go to a conference tomorrow and you learn this really cool thing that's going to help you push your business forward, and it involves implementing something new on your website. And you come back to your site and you look at it and you're like, how do I do this? And then you find out that you can't because you're limited to those features that software as a service platform has provided you with. And this is where WordPress becomes really interesting, is that whenever you have an idea, it can be done. And it powers almost a third of the internet. And with that becomes this huge community worldwide of developers who are building features and building plugins and building themes all the time. And it really helps when you're developing your project, because whenever you have an idea of something that you want to build, somebody else has done it, or somebody else has done something like it, So you're never really starting from scratch. And so this ecosystem really helps push your project forward in a faster way because it allows you to move a lot faster when you find things that are already available, and it cuts the budgets. So we've been building projects for clients for almost 10 years now. And with that, we've learned so much, and we've done so many iterations in improving our processes and how we work, and that we've gotten to the point where the team has gotten so good at it that we're able to deliver even the most complex projects in a very seamless way. And the quality standards have really gone up in what we were able to deliver. So the majority of our clients just work with us over months and years. Even when the project is completed, they just stick around, and whenever they have a new idea that they want to implement, a new feature that they want to implement, they just send us a message, and then we just go and scope it and get it done for them. And so we become their main development partner, and we're there to support them in growing their business.